Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some Mila, Crafty Companion, and Luca, Wayward Bonder. Looking at our opening hand, we do have 3 lands, color fixing in the Evolving Wilds, Valcode Awakening if we just can't get anything good going, do have some removal, some protection, well for us anyway, and a Planeswalker. Let's go ahead and keep. Our commander is 1 white for a legendary 2/3 Fox. Whenever an opponent attacks one or more Planeswalkers we control, put a loyalty count on each Planeswalker we control, and whenever a permanent we control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, we draw a card, or at least we may. Our first opponent with a Wandering Fumarole, is that how you pronounce that? Is Niv-Mizzet Parun, blue, red, for a legendary 5/5 Dragon Wizard. This spell can't be countered. Flying, whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant sorcery spell, draw a card. The backside of our commander, Luca, Wayward Bonder, 4 red for a legendary Planeswalker Luca, 5 loyalty to start with, +1, discard a card if you do draw a card. If a creature card would be discarded this way, draw 2 cards instead. -2, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. And -7, you get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target, a la Warstorm Surge. Our next opponent is Hamza, Guardian of Arshin, 4 green, white for a legendary 5/5 Elephant Warrior. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control the 1/1 counter on it, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Campy Vista into play for them. Comes to our turn, we get Sacred Foundry. Pretty good. Let's get the Evolving Wilds down, crack it, get it out of the way. I think I'm going to be wanting a mountain. To our last opponent, Lathliss, Dragon Queen. 4 red for a legendary 6/6 dragon. Flying, whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. 1 red dragons you control get 1/0 till end of turn. We have a mountain followed by a Soul Ring followed by Swiftfoot Boots. That's not good. To the Parun, we have an island into play followed by Mind Stone, followed by Wayfarer's Bauble. To Hamza's turn, let's see what they do with it. I have not seen this commander played at all, so this will be quite interesting. I'm hoping the dragon players kind of go after each other. We have Conclave Mentor coming down. To our turn, we get a snow-covered mountain. Works for me. Let's do Spectator Seeding before our opponents leave us and pass it off. We have Dragon's Approach. We go down to 37. So, might be yet another Dragon's Approach deck. We'll have to wait and see. To Niv's turn. On the bright side, they'll be able to draw a number of cards if there is a Dragon's Approach deck. Unfortunately, we are still not equipped to counteract a Dragon's Approach deck. Devastation Tide. You may cast it for its miracle cost. Yeah, that's not the best right now. Too bad. They will have it in hand if they don't cast it, though. They are casting it. All non-land things get bounced. Yay, we emerge unscathed. Land into play. It's an island. Bauble back down for Niv-Mizzet. Hamza with a Galvany Township. Good synergy. Machias the Lunarch. Now that's a card I haven't seen played almost ever. It does have the ability to remove a counter from it to put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. So in this deck, I can see the good synergy here. Play the snow-covered plains, get down our commander, and pass it off there. We have Mana Crypt coming down for Lathliss. All the ramp is theirs. That's a Soul Ring. Swifty Boots into play. Dragon's Approach again, we'll be taking 3 more damage. Swan Song, nice. Swifty Boots onto the bird. Attacks into Niv-Mizzet. Niv-Mizzet takes 2 there, down to 35. Mind Stone coming back down. Wayfarer's Bauble gets the crack. Hamza with the Conclave Mentor back into play. Comes our turn, we get Chandra Fire Artisan. That'll be good for now. Let's go ahead and play Sacred Foundry into play untapped so we don't get caught down with lower life total anyway. And we'll go ahead and play her. On the bright side, if she gets hit for something, she'll just deal damage to something else. Well, that's +1. Exile that top card. It's a Sphere of Safety. Oof, I was just thinking I really want that card. Sad face. Let's pass it off. 2 Lathliss this turn. Mana Crypt will trigger for the first time this game. Let's see if they win or lose the flip. They lose it, going down to 37. Lathliss Dragon Queen into play. Curse of Opulence. Where is it going? On to Niv-Mizzet. So we can get some free mana by attacking Niv. Let's see where they're going with it. They're going Bird into Niv. They get a... Oh, it's gold even. Ooh, that's a little bit more broken than treasure. Niv takes 2. They're down to 33. Also, this guy on this art, he looks very similar to, was it like Blade Master or something in Strixhaven? Red-white gives your creatures double strike. Tell me that's not like an older version of him. Swifty Boots onto Lathliss. Over to Niv. Mindstone gets the crack after a landfall. They still need another red source for their own commander. Mog Salvage. If an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Destroy target artifact. Well, okay. That's usually pretty good in EDH, I wager. Swifty Boots goes to the bin. So with the dragon people going after each other, I think we're going to have to worry about Hamza. We do have an activation from them, by the way. Machias the Lunarch, a 1/1 counter onto it. It gets an additional one thanks to the Conclave Mentor. Basri Ket coming down, 1/1 counter guy. Didn't necessarily want to run him in this deck though. He definitely needs more creature presence than we have. 1 white for legendary Planeswalker Basri. 3 loyalty. They are activating the +1 ability, which is put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature gains indestructible until the end of the turn. -2, whenever 1 more Dawn token creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. -6, you get them with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Pretty good emblem. Our turn gives us another land. Let's go ahead and play a snow-covered mountain. At this point, I don't really want to play the Windborn Muse per se. Let's go ahead and exile the top card with Chandra Fire Artisan. We get a command tower. Alright, not too much loss there. We do have a lot of lands. Let's play Torch of Defiance. Let's add 2 more mana to our mana pool. And let's go ahead and play Valkut Awakening. I don't think we're necessarily going to need the Snow-Covered Plains or the Windborn Muse right now, so let's go ahead and draw 2 new cards. Well, 3 new cards anyway. Battlefield Forge, Snow-Covered Plains again, but Mangara, that could be good. Let's go ahead and pass it off. Lathliss loses the flip again, they are down to 34. Tectonic Reformation. Each land card in your hand has cycling for red. Lathliss on the attack, off into Niv. And then we have a bird, is off into, whoops, didn't get to see. Curse of Opulence will trigger though. Bird is off into the Hamza player. We are being left alone, that's nice. Damage is good. Hamza down to 35, Niv-Mizzet down to 27. In the second main, we have Dragon Whelp. Lathliss will trigger for the first time this game. They get a dragon token. Dragon Whelp is a 2/3 and it has fire breathing, except if you activate 4 more times this turn, you get to sacrifice the Dragon Whelp. Over to Niv-Mizzet. Let's see what they do at the turn. 4 cards in hand after the draw. Lathliss down to 1 card in hand after their turn, so not too much gas left there, and they can run into a wheeling effect, which may be the last card. Is that Guildgate into play, and then mana tapping for Metallurgic Summons. Oh, that'll be pretty good if they get some spells going. They could also exile it to recur a bunch of spells too. Devastation Tide would be pretty bad. To Hamza's turn, 7 cards in hand after the draw. They have not dropped a land in a long time. So, I am somewhat concerned about them staying in this game. I also think eventually they're going to be the major threat. I do want to try to bait out that Devastation Tide though. So I'm going to commit a little bit to the board and hope there's not a mass wipe for everything. In the colors currently right now, only Hamza would have anything like Planar Cleansing. Otherwise, if we can have our Planeswalkers not be destroyed but recast them, then I think that's fine. I think we'll recover a little bit quicker than everyone else, but we'll see how things go. Basri Ket is being activated again. Machias becomes an 8/8 with Indestructible. With any luck, they hopefully won't be swinging at us or our Planeswalkers. The problem is, I think Niv-Mizzet and Lathliss, like I've said, are going at each other pretty hard, so I don't think Hamza necessarily needs to be concerned with them. I'm hoping they think they do, though. They do not, and we get Generous Gift on our turn. Nice. Let's go ahead and play Karn's Bastion as part of that baiting strategy. And I think we do want to get rid of Basri Ket. I don't want it to reach the ultimate range. But first, let's do the exiling thing and see what other options we have. Pilgrim's Eye. Don't necessarily need any more lands, though. Let's use Torch to exile the top card as well. It is a snow-covered plains. Unfortunately, we cannot play it. Okay, let's get rid of Basri Ket. Metallurgic Summons might also be good, but I still want that Devastation Tide to go off. Let's pass it off. Over to Lathliss, Bonk Crypt. Let's see if they lose the flip again. They win the flip this time, remaining at 32. We have dragons swinging. Let's see where they're going. Alright, one into each player. Lathliss into Niv-Mizzet. We're taking the dragon token, and the whelp is going off into Hamza. Lathliss activations incoming. Fire breathing for all the dragons. Damage is good. We're down to 28. Niv-Mizzet down to 17, and Hamza down to 29. Second main phase, we have Tyrion Mauler. That'll get pretty big. And it is a dragon because of Changeling. New token from Lathliss. We have Explosion and a number of triggers. Okay, let's see what's targeting. Is targeting our, unfortunately, commander. She will go back to the command zone. Otherwise, they will get a token from Metallurgic Summons. Mila Crafty Companion will allow us to draw a card, and Tyrion Mauler will trigger to make itself larger. Mila back to the command zone. Alright, so I'm thinking next turn, Winds of Abandon. I'll probably get Hamza more into the game anyway, which is detrimental to our survival, but so are all the creatures able to attack our planeswalkers without fear of retaliation. End of turn, activation for Machias the Lunarch. Their other creatures get 1/1 counters by removing one from him. Alright, so at the moment we are defenseless. Our planeswalkers could potentially die here fairly easily. That would be sad. We have Shalai, Voice of Plenty. No problem for the Winds of Abandon. We have some attacks. Into both of our planeswalkers. That's a sad face. At least they won't die. Fire Artisan will trigger. Let's go ahead and hit Lathliss with it. Why not? They'll take 4 damage. Fire Artisan is down to 3 loyalty. Torch down to 1. To our turn, we see a snow-covered mountain. Never gonna run out of those lands. Snow-covered plains into play. Let's go. Then we'll play Wayfarer's Bauble. Tyrion Mauler will trigger. And then hopefully there's no force spike over there on the Niv-Mizzet side, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Winds of Abandon with Overload. It looks like we have a response from Lathliss. Ancient Tomb's getting cycled. Niv-Mizzet quits the game. That's unfortunate. I honestly thought between them and Hamza they could come back. Lathliss seems to be the one that'll be caught out on this. Alright, they get to go find basic lane cards. We'll let this resolve. Everybody gets some lands except us, but that's okay. Let's go ahead, activate Chandra Artisan, and exile the top card. It's Rip Apart. Too bad we can't cast it. Let's go ahead and add 2 mana to our mana pool with Chandra Torch of Defiance and crack that Bauble. We'll get a Snow-Covered Plains and we'll pass off the turn. Hopefully nothing will have haste and smack our planeswalkers down. To Lathliss's turn, Mana Crypt. Will it bonk? They lose the flip down to 25. To the second main phase, we have Lathliss. Indeed we do. Over to Hamza, 7 cards after the draw. They have a good amount of mana at 8. Let's see what they do with it. They are in this game now. Soul Ring coming down. Their commander Hamza, Guardian of Arson, coming down into play. Champion of Lamholt. Ooh, that'll be pretty good later. Comes our turn, yet another land, Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Not my favorite. Let's go ahead and play a land though, Battlefield Forge into play. And we'll exile the top card, see if we can get any more card selection going on. Snow-Covered Plains, not the best. Let's play Mangara. Let's exile another top card with Chandra Torch. We have Blasphemous Act. That's really just bad timing. We will not cast it. Our opponents each take 2. Let's recast our commander. And we'll pass it there. Over to Lathliss's turn. Mana Crypt does the triggering like always. They win the flip this time. Cathartic Reunion for the Lathliss player. They discard 2 additional cards and draw 3. Heraldic Banner coming down. We'll draw a card. They discard Dragon's Approach and Dragon's Approach. We get Terramorphic Expanse. Gonna have to seriously take a look at the land count in this deck. I believe it's 37 just like our last deck, but Dinah almost never gave us enough land, so we had to rejigger that. We have a Mountain Cycling. We have a lot of mana tapping down for Lathliss. Let's see what they're going to summon. It's Molten Disaster. Ooh, all our creatures die. Too bad. Alright, let's put our commander back in the command zone. So let's see if Lathliss will attack anywhere. Could kill either one of our planeswalkers. Lathliss on the attack. It's off into Torch. Yeah, that seems legit. And there she goes. Colonian Hydra and Hardened Scales for Hamza on their turn. Our turn gives us Arcane Signet. Yeah, that's not terribly helpful. Let's go ahead and play a land. Snow-covered mountain into play and exile the top card. Magus of the Wheel could be good. I don't know why we still have Blasphemous Act in here. That seems kind of glitchy to me. I guess let's go ahead and get down the Arcane Signet. And then we'll play the Magus of the Wheel. And pass it there. To the Bonk Crypt trigger. Let's see what happens. They win the flip, remaining at 16. Fledgling Dragon coming down. Threshold, as long as you have 7 more cards in your graveyard, it gets 3/3 and has red, it gets 1/0 to end of turn. So 5/5 for 4. Not too shabby back in the day. They get another token. Okay, let's see where they attack now. And get out of the way, Blasphemous Act. I don't know why you're still there. Lathliss to the attacks. Let's see where they go. Trondra could deal 6 damage to him, so hopefully not into us too hard. We do have a wheel on the table, so hopefully they won't do anything to us. And they don't, but also not anything to Hamza. Over to Hamza's turn, 5 cards in hand after the draw. It's Vigor. Oh no. So at this point, probably want something like Austere Command or Phyrexian Rebirth just to get rid of things, just like the last game. Vigor prevents damage and adds counters equal to that damage. So if we ever cast Blasphemous Act, we're most likely just killing ourselves at that point. Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, can make some planes, but more importantly for the deck, 1/1 counters. 1/1 counter on each creature they control, which will be 2 thanks to Hardened Scales. On the attack, it'll trigger doubling the counters, and they'll get an additional one. It'll be a 15/15. Let's see where it's attacking. Oh, it's off into our face. Yep, nothing we can do about that. We'll just be taking it. We need answers, preferably a board wipe. We are down to 6. Sadness. Comes our turn, we get yet another land. Let's go ahead and play it, I suppose. And then we will sacrifice our Magus of the Wheel. Alright, let's see what we got. Trondra Flamecaller, unfortunately, not going to help us. Gideon, probably not going to help us. Faithless Looting, Boros Charm could be good. Let's exile the top card just to give us another option. It's Command Beacon. That won't work. Let's play Silent Arbiter. And then let's do Faithless Looting. If we can get some kind of removal for the Colonian Hydra, that would be beneficial. We do have Ugin, so that's potentially good. Let's get rid of Temple of Triumph, and I think the Chancellor. Unfortunately, we cannot cast Ugin right now. It does cost 6 mana, and we are 1 short. Well, let's play the Hedge Mage. Let's destroy an enchantment. That'll be Hardened Scales. And we'll destroy Heraldic Banner, I suppose. At this point, though, we're pretty much dead to either player. So hopefully they will take each other out a little bit. But game's getting pretty close to the end here. There they go. Let's pass the turn. To Lathliss's turn, the Bonk Crypt. They lose the flip there, down to 13. Red does have things like Chaos Warp to get rid of that Hydra. Hopefully they'll use it. We got nothing, unfortunately. Mox Opal coming down for Lathliss. Crystal Vein into play. It gets sacrificed for that 2 mana. Dragon's Approach. Oof. We're down to 3. Hamza down to 17. We have a dragon into play. It's Archwing Dragon. Dragon's Approach. Die to it again. Between recordings and regular games, this will probably be the 4th time. Good card. Good thing it's that common. Easy to pick up, but ow. Okay. Yeah, upon rethinking my last turn, Silent Arbiter was probably a bad idea to bait out all kinds of removal against our face. So, might take that out for something else, like an actual Pillow Fort effect. We do have a full attack, though, off into the Hamza player. This should be game, unless they have, like, a Path to Exile or something. Oh yeah, that's right. Lathliss does all of the buffing to the dragons. This game is over. That's 5 activations from Lathliss. More than lethal. And there it is. Let's see. going to go ahead and give it to the Hamza player just because I haven't seen the deck before. And they got stuck on 3 lands forever until we did Winds of Abandon and stayed in the game. So, and there it is. We get 1 point. Nice. Thank you, opponents. 3 to the winner and 1 to the Hamza player. That's from us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck and try to analyze what we might have done wrong and what we can change. Alright, here's the deck. So, in this game in particular, I don't think we did too much that was wrong. Definitely needed some more mass removal, and Silent Arbiter, I think, ended up being probably a worse play, but I think we weren't really getting out of that anyway. Probably going to take it out, especially against something like the Colonian Hydra. Sometimes one creature is all they need to murder you with, so maybe another Pillow Fort effect or some other type of mass removal. Other than that, I do think I messed up on the sequence on the turn where we had Pilgrim's Eye exiled, and we could have played that instead of me passing, so I could just get an extra land out of the deck. As far as the lands go as well, 37 lands plus Volkut Awakening, so 38. And we still get an awful lot of lands, so I don't quite know what that's about. Even when we were drawing extra cards occasionally, still lands. So I don't know that there's anything I would change. Again, I have said this before in past series and past videos. The algorithm on Magic Online, it's weird. You know, we can chalk it up to bad luck, but I just don't trust a computer to do the shuffling for me. I much prefer to do it with my actual decks. But what can you do? Anyway, if you saw any cards that you want to purchase for yourself, sealed product, or accessories to protect all of that glory, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra. On to the last game from my Crafty Companion. Going to make a few changes, not too many. I think the deck works well, more or less. We maybe need a little bit more control elements in the deck, and a little bit more pillow forting, like I said. Other than that, stay safe out there, and I'll see you for the next game.